Welcome everyone to a night at the track here at Whiskey Lake Speedway in Fort Riley, Kansas. Tonight we're going to be featuring some antique and vintage car racing here at the Speedway. Let's join in as we have a lot of fun with the Kansas Antique Racers Association and the Missouri Old Time Vintage Racers. Let's meet the drivers and take a look at some of these beautiful race cars from the Kansas Antique Race Association. I'm here with Kenny Tatro here at Whiskey Lake Speedway for the Vintage Racers tonight. Kenny, do we have a history on this car? Did you build it? What do you know about it?
Well, actually, it was built in Wichita, Kansas by a gentleman named Walt McWhorter, and he was a pretty good old car builder and did a little racing and had some success over the years. And so anyway, that's the story. Walt built it.
Well, now, were you a racer yourself, or have you just kind of gotten into the old-time vintage racing just like some of these other guys have?
Well, actually, I did race a little bit in the old days. Nothing too serious. I never had any sponsors. Just did my own thing and had some success, but not near as much fun as we're having now.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit. What's the motor in this thing? Are you guys all running carburetors? I guess that's one thing we ought to kind of clarify. What kind of horsepower we're getting here and what we're using for getting the fuel into the motor.
Yes, they are naturally aspirated. There are some fuel-injected sprint cars, but all the super modifieds are naturally aspirated. And it kind of depends who you talk to on the horsepower. You know, some of them may stretch it a little and some of them may not quite tell you the truth. So they're considerably more than what was in them back in the day.
In the day. Well, 327s and smaller block engines, like it revved a little bit more, but not quite the cubic inches that they got now.
Yeah, that's probably correct.
Okay, answer me this. If a guy wanted to get into this, what kind of price range are we talking about? Because I imagine you guys buy some of these kind of, I want to say, a dilapidated state and then build them up to where they, look like race cars like they did back in the day.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. You can find some parts laying around and put some stuff together relatively cheap. These cars are very collectible, and if you get one with some history, some significant history that's had some good shoes in it over the years, they're quite collectible. So you can spend about as much or as little as you want, I guess, basically.
Okay, once again, Kenny Tatro, right?
That's correct.
Congratulations. Thanks for talking with us, guy.
Very good. Thank you. Thanks for having us, everybody. Appreciate it.
Okay. Lynn Anderson from Concordia. Lynn, man, I get up that way every once in a while. I get up here for the Belleville High Banks and have stayed down Concordia a couple times, but that's another story in itself right there. But man, this is a nice piece you've got here. The first thing I noticed when you pull up, I thought, man, this thing is really long, but this is a champ car.
Yeah, that's probably early 80s champ car. It come out of Oklahoma. It was run at a 100-inch sprint car down there, apparently for a while, and when I got it, it was just a frame and rear end and a few pieces, and it took me about 2 years, I think, to put it together, and I've got another car, and I've had a lot of fun running. I've been doing it for 17 years now, and it's a good time.
I was going to say, they become a work of love after a while, don't they? Because, like you say, 2 years, to get it back just into condition to run, is that true?
That's true, yeah. There's a lot of hunting on parts, and, I'm not one that's on the history so much, and I build them to suit me and run them, that's just the way it is, I
was going to say, there's a lot of guys that restore these that, man, they want the original equipment from the time they run, but I suppose if you were out there racing, it wouldn't be quite as much as important as it would be to make sure you just got some good stuff.
Yeah, you just want to make sure you got good stuff, and it's, we're out there having fun, it's great. We've got some in the club that's got a lot of history on them, and I have just as much fun with this as those guys that have all the history. I don't care who sat in that seat for me.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you're in it for the racing.
Yeah. We have a good time. We run, I've run with them Kansas Antique Race Association 17 years, and we've got a perfect record, so You know, everybody is a good bunch of guys, and you know, we get throwing some pretty serious dirt, but we just watch out for each other, you know, and you know, if it's too big a risk to get around the guy, you just back off and
let him go.
You know, it pays just all the same. You end up last if you end up taking that checkered flag. You know, it's all good time.
All good time. Once again, Lynn Anderson from Concordia. Nice car, man.
Thank you. Good to be here, and we're going to have a good night over.
I got Bob McCall here from Salina. Bob, I tell you what, this is a feast for the eyes to get to see these vintage cars like this, and understand you raced for a few years, but kind of getting into the vintage stuff now.
Yeah, well, we've made the circle. We done it competition-wise for a number of years, and now it's fun to restore the ones we started in. Yeah. This happens to be a 74 model. It was built by Bob Trossel.
Oh my gosh.
And this is chassis number 160. And when I talked to Bob, he had built 534 cars, and so this is really a tribute to the fine workmanship that he had done.
I was going to say, you talk about sprint car racing. Now, there's a name that anybody that is around or has been around sprint car racing over the years would recognize that name. Wolfgang, I think, drove one of his cars for a number of years, a house car. But how did you pick it up?
Actually, I found this car on eBay in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Oh, my gosh.
And I talked to the guy, and he didn't have a clue what it was. I went out and bought it. I didn't know what it was for sure. I knew as soon as I bought it, there'd be another one show up that I'd rather have, and sure enough, 2 weeks later, there was a Trossel car that showed up on eBay, and I got to looking at the pictures, and I knew that who built that car had a hand in building this one. So I called and got a hold of Bob Trossel, told him the guy that originally owned the car, and he said, just a minute, let me look in my book. And he come back and said, that's a 1974 4-bar car, 90-inch wheelbase, and he said, I built that February the 20th.
Man, oh man, I mean, your heartstrings or whatever had to kind of go ding a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't believe a guy had that much documentation, but I went up and met with him. The nicest guy in the world. I mean, just was super, super nice, and helped me out with things, and I got it all documented, and it just wonderful to find something like that, you know.
Okay, once again, Bob McCall from Salina. Bob, appreciate you showing up here tonight, first of all, to race, but talking with us here on GRS.
Well, I enjoy doing this, and the Wounded Warrior deal was going on down here, and I like to support our troops, and it's a fun thing to do.
Larry Cottam from Salina. Larry, all I can say is, man, this is a beautiful piece you've got here. I mean, I get around quite a few tracks, a few old-timer shows, but, man, this is a really nice car you got.
Thank you. I already been enjoying the car. We've had it since about 2000. We restored it then. My boy was going to drive it for a couple of years, and then I took it over, and had a blast ever since.
I understand the car's got just a little bit of history. Somebody drove it down Devil's Bowl.
Yeah, Dale Looper drove it down Devil's Bowl, probably from 1972, 75 or 6. He was a track champion in 1975, and it's a Nance chassis, like with a Chevy 377 in it.
Once again, man, one of the car builders from that era that just turned out some tremendous equipment. I know Sammy Swindell drove, I think, one of his house cars for a while. And boy, to have a piece like this from a car builder like that, man, that's got to be neat.
It is. And like I say, we're just having a blast with them. We all have pretty nice cars, and we like to not tear them up. So we try to keep getting into anybody. But
yeah. And I think you were telling me earlier, too, that you never had any driving experience before that. Just went out there and got in it.
That's right. I'd run a mechanics race once, but that's it.
I was going to say, that'd be a lot of power to have under you for, not getting out there. And what do these weigh? And you have any idea the horsepower to weight?
This one here weighs about 1,800 pounds.
Wow, that's light.
And probably around 5 1/4 horse.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, once again, Larry, I say, man, that is a nice piece, man. Have some fun out there tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you. You bet.
All right, my name's John Wilhite. I'm from Wellsville, Kansas. Got a 64 Chevelle here. Been racing vintage cars since 2005. Been racing Lakeside, Thunderhill, Harlan Park, just about anywhere. So that's about it.
My name is Zach Simmons. I drive a 67 Volkswagen Bug. It's built on an old Supermod frame. I'm the current points leader, and I live in Independence, Kansas.
I'm Jack Simmons, driver of the J2 1955 Bel Air vintage car. This car was a late model stock back in the late 60s, set up idle for over 30 years before we dug the body back out and built a vintage car on an old late model chassis.
I'm Lewis Jackson, driver of the 3. It's a 48 Chevy Coupe on a sports mod chassis.
Joe Martin, 39 Chevy Coupe. 2-link modified chassis.
Dave Baldwin, this is a 1970 Chevelle Camaro stock chassis.
I'm Keith Simmons. I'm racing a 1944 Coupe from St. Joe, Missouri, and I'm the reigning 2010 points championship.
My name is Jason Jackson. I'm from Parsons, Kansas. I'm driving a 1937 Chevy Coupe, 5-window coupe. Many of you guys probably know Johnny Allen, the modified driver. This was a body that his dad actually skinned back in the 60s that he was going to put on a jalopy car and was sitting in a pasture for 40 years. So a friend of mine rescued it and we put it on a modified chassis.
I'm Travis Moyer. I'm driving number 27 car. It's a 1950 Ford Custom that me and my brother built. It's on a leaf spring late model chassis, and that's about it.
I'm BJ Page, driving number 64. It's a 1967 Chevy Bel Air. Been racing for about 2 years, having a blast.
Hi, my name's Pat Trussler. I drive a 1962 Chevy 2 Nova. I run a 406 Unlimited class. That's the 2,900 pound weight. I've been racing for 4 years, and I race along with my son now. So it's been a pretty good year.
My name's Donovan Trussler. I'm from Baldwin City, Kansas. This is my first year racing, and my car is a 1971 Vega wagon with a B-mod chassis.
Matt Morant from Excelsior Springs, Missouri. Shocker chassis, Peeler built motorsports chassis. We put a 65 Mustang body on it over the winter and come out here and play with these guys for a little while.
Okay, I'm here with Matthew Riley from Grail Engine Technologies. Matthew, out here tonight we're going to have this old timers race, and boy, you guys have stepped up and you're going to be sponsoring this deal tonight.
It's a great opportunity to help the local community, and that's what we're about, is developing technology that helps people and helps our communities as well as around the world. It's a really pleasure to be here doing this and working with everybody here.
You know, it's such a pleasant event to come to. I know we got a little heat going, but other than that, why, you know, I think it's going to be quite an evening. Some of these cars from the different eras that are going to be racing tonight, you know, it kind of leads up into what you are doing. I understand you're an engineer, but man, with this Grail Engine Technologies, you are stepping out there with some new designs, and man, it sounds like a great deal. How did you get interested in doing this? I mean, it was just something you thought, man, I got to do something here?
Well, I've spent years in the research and development of engine technologies, and as they advanced on throughout time, everybody's had time to work at different particular areas of the engine technology, but there's never been a major breakthrough in two-stroke engine technology, except we took it to the next level and isolated the oil from getting in the intake, the combustion chamber, or the exhaust, while still being able to use the pre-compression cycle underneath the piston, which means you have a built-in supercharger to a single-cylinder engine that fires every revolution. It just generates a phenomenal amount of power. Everybody understands and knows the power to weight ratio in two strokes, but the durability is there. It can handle long periods of time, and it produces an astounding amount of power and efficiency, and it's cheap to manufacture.
Let me ask you this. Will this technology ever be to the point where we're going to see one in a race car?
Oh yeah, I'm sure of that. That'll happen soon enough. We've got major manufacturers that have come out and spoke with us, Honda. We've spoke with Ford Motor Company and a few others, and it's been a very profitable thing for them in the past to expand their technology and work forward to better themselves, and hopefully we can help them do that.
Like you say, this is kind of a thing that's hand in hand, and man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you stepping up to, like I say, sponsor this deal, and of course the money that's going to be given to the Wounded Warriors Fund later on. A great deal.
It's not just a responsibility, it's an obligation I feel everybody has, and we're pleased to do it.
All right. Thank you a lot, sir.
You're very welcome.
Jason Jackson, driver to number 21. Continuing to lead this event, led every lap from the pole so far. '65 of Patrick Trusser. John Wilhoit nearly goes around, taking the shortcut through the infield. That allows the number 5 to get past him. 21 still able to maintain that lead down the front straightaway. As it looks like Wilhoit's going to slide back to about the 4th position. At the line, white flag one more time around. Mr. Jason Jackson as he enters turn number 3. Holding on to that top spot at the line, checkered flag wave. Jason Jackson. Keith Simmons into the second position. J2 of Mr. Jack Simmons will bring it home into that third position. Anyway, field is set. Flagman looks him over. It looks like we're going to have about 6 laps of racing on the dirt here. WLR. Green flag is out. We're underway. Looks like there's a tight battle between the 3 and the 27 cars. All 3 competitors make their way through turns 1 and 2. Battling down the back straightaway, 27 holding on to that top spot as we have a 3-way battle for the lead. Stretching that lead over to second place competitor, the 27 is able to hold on to that top spot, feeling no pressure at all, as the 3 and 4 bang it out with each other for that second position. At the line, running order is going to be 27, 3, 4, 64, 14, and 67. Down the back straightaway, still able to hold on to that top spot as the battle tightens for that second position between the 3 and the 4. 4 car on the inside trying a low line. Unable to get it done that time by. On the back straightaway, that battle for the second spot tightens up even more. The number 4 car trying that low side, driven by Joe Martin out of Wellsville, Kansas. Finally able to take that second position. Now he sets his target on the number 27. Leader in sight. At the line, 27, 4, 3, 64, 14, and a 67. Down the back straightaway, entering turn number 3, making his way through 4 onto the front straightaway. The leader, 27 car, followed by the 4, driven by Joe Martin. Unable to catch the leader. White flag is in the air. He has one more time to try to get it done. It looks like he's going to get it done this time by. He may caught the leader. Driver of the number 4 trying to make it stick on the outside. Doesn't get it done. Checkered flag waves for the number 27. Looks like there's been a little mayhem at the exit of turn number 1, entering 2. Looks like a 3. We have the number 3, 4T, and the number 64 all involved in that. Flagman looks them over as they make their way down the back straightaway, 2 by 2. Caution light is out. Drivers making their way off turn 4 down to the front straightaway. And green flag is out again. Here we're underway. Anderson will lead that first lap. Well, the second position will be Kenneth Tatro, Larry Cotman, and Bob McCall. Lap number 2, same running order. 4, 14, 99, 329. Anderson feeling some serious heat from Tatro as they make their way down the back straightaway. Tatro tightening that gap, trying it on the high side of the track into turn number 3. Will he get it done this time? As Anderson dives to the bottom, doesn't look like it's going to happen. Cotman running in a third position. Bob McCall round out your top 4. Tatro now stepping on it just a little bit harder as he has caught the leader. Cotman in that third position. Tatro really turning up the heat on Lynn Anderson. Actually, Tatro making the pass, completing it through turn number 3, off turn number 4, down to the front straightaway. At the line is going to be Tatro in the 14, Anderson in the 4, Cotman in the 99. Bob McCall round out your top 4 competitors. Tatro making his way to the front, able to hold on to that top spot. Anderson loosens the car up just a little bit. At the line, white flag waves, Tatro in the lead. Anderson in that second position. Cotman riding in that third position. Bob McCall round out your top 4 competitors here tonight, WLR. Checkered flag waves. Checkered flag waves from Mr. Kenneth Tatro, taking the win tonight. Second position, Lynn Anderson. Larry Cotman in that third spot. And riding shotgun on the field, fourth position is going to go to Bob McCall in the number 329. Green flag falls. We're underway at WLR. Off turn 4 down the front straightaway. At the line, your leader, number 4. Tight battle for that second position as they bang and bump. Little door knocking on that. The 64 machine, 69 machine will fall to that third position. '39 Chevy Coupe, number 4, able to hold on to that top spot. Off turn 4 down the front straightaway. At the line, here's your leader. That battle tightens up for that top spot. Driver the number 5 wants some of that action. Making your way to turns 1 and 2. Looks like the caution flag will wave for that spin from the number 5. Joining him in the infield is the number 69, your pole setter. Green flag waves. We're underway once again here at WLR. Down the back straightaway, entering turn number 4. Onto the front straightaway, it looks like it's going to be number 4. Second position, J2. He's got his sights set on the leader at this point. Off turn number 4 down the front straightaway, making a charge. Entering turn number 3, the J2 right on the back bumper of the number 4, diving to the inside on the front straightaway. Won't get it done this time by. Little nudge going into turn number 3. J2 banging on the back door of that number 4. Can't get it done this time. Taking a good look on the inside, the J2 has a preferred line off turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Still doesn't get it done. Side by side as they exit turn number 2 down the back straightaway. J2 finally clears the number 4 machine as the 2 cars now entered into this battle. Three-way battle for that top spot. J2, 2, 4, your running order. J2 still able to hold on to that top spot, beginning to catch some lap traffic. At the line, it's J2, number 4. J2 still in command of this event. Number 2 right behind him, knocking on the door, trying to run the leader down as he works lap traffic. Trying it on the inside off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Just can't quite get to him. He can catch J2, but he can't get around him. Right on his back bumper at the line. J2 still continuing to lead. Picking up the throttle on a little bit of J2. One more time around, white flag displayed. Down the back straightaway, J2 able to hold on to that top spot. The number 2 directly behind him. Checkered flag waves. At the line, it's going to be J2, number 2. Number 4, 27, 21, 65.
It's Jack Simmons in the J2.
Jack Simmons in the J2. Thank you.
Well, Jack, I think we've been at this rodeo before somewhere, it seems like.
Times.
Somewhere down the road, it seems like we've done it, but man, a really good run. Man, it hung on that bottom side.
I told them guys they was going to be on the bottom of the night and be real cautious and be real patient, and it'd come in, and we just kept waiting there, and before long we was there. So
Didn't hurt he went out with that water truck either.
Yeah, well, that didn't hurt it any. It kept some of the dust down and really made a nice, smooth racetrack to race on tonight. A little bit of dust in a little bit of places, but the racetrack's real smooth, real raceable. I did lap some cars on the outside. I passed a couple of cars out there, but the race was really on the bottom of the racetrack.
Folks, once again, your winner here from Whiskey Lake Speedway, Jack Simmons. Way to go, Jack.
Thank you.
Okay, race fans, here go your super modified A feature time. Looks like McCall in the lead. Tatro in second, Cotman in third, Anderson rounding out the field. McCall leading this race every lap so far. Tatro in that second position, Cotman running third, Anderson in that fourth position out of Salina, Kansas, your running order. McCall able to hold on to that top spot, Tatro wanting it. Cotman and Anderson round out your top four. What? Yep. McCall still in command of this event. Off turn 4 at the line, McCall. Tatro into 14 as there's a tight battle going on between Cotman and Anderson for that third spot. McCall stretching that lead over second position, Tatro, as that battle for third position remains tight. Looks like there's been a problem on the 99 machine as Cotman is headed for the infield. McCall and Tatro running 1 and 2. Tatro on the back bumper, McCall trying to make up some lost ground. McCall winding his way through turn number 3, 4 onto the front straightaway. McCall, Tatro, and Anderson, 3 remaining cars in this event. McCall leading every lap though so far. Starting on the pole. Anderson still in that third spot. Unable to catch the leaders. White flag in the air for Bob McCall out of New Cambria, Kansas. Tatro in that second position into 14. Anderson still running in that third position. Checkered flag waves. Bob McCall, New Cambria, Kansas. Tatro in the 14 in second place. Lynn Anderson round out your top 3 competitors here tonight. WLR Super Modified time. Number 329, your winner. 14, second position.
Well, Roger, this isn't one of the things that we talked about for a promoter to be doing, but man, you come out here and drive one of these here old race cars and pull out the victory and, boy, get a nice cash prize for the Wounded Warrior Fund.
We're glad to do it. We had a good time, and these guys are great racers. I enjoy racing with them, and we didn't have the car quite right, but it made it okay.
I was going to say, big thank you to Bob McCall for letting you jump in there and take this thing around. I've never seen you drive, man, but I can see you got a heavy foot.
Well, I try my best, you know. Thanks, Mike.
Okay. Once again, promoter, owner, car driver, Roger Thompson here at Whiskey Lake Speedway. Roger, a lot of fun to watch it.
I've enjoyed it. Enjoyed having you out tonight, Mike. You really have. About lost my voice. I don't know why.
Kenny Tatro in second place. Man, it looked like you were pushing it about as hard as you could push it to get up there, but Roger just had to hammer down.
He had it going on, didn't he? That was fun. That was a good time for sure.
He was hanging on to that bottom. I think if you could have got him up off the bottom, maybe you had a chance, but that guy wasn't giving it up, was he?
No, he wasn't going to give it up. That's for sure. We were giving it all we could, and it was a good time.
Yeah. Well, Kenny, all I can say is had a lot of things flash in my mind as that race was going on. Brings back a lot of great memories.
Fantastic, man. We're having a ball doing it, and just tickled to be asked to come here and put on a show for you guys. It's been a fantastic get together, and really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Once again, Kenny Petros, second place. Way to go, Kenny.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got a special presentation tonight, and this goes to the Wounded Warriors Fund. Is that correct? Correct. Okay, here, and you are?
Matthew Riley, CEO for Grail Engine Technologies.
And you are?
I'm Captain Micah Allen.
And we know who you are. Anyway, where's our trophy? Okay, you are?
I'm Ray Molson from Topeka, Kansas, with Toucan Designs, and we're here to present this trophy to the Wounded Warriors Association, and we're proud of everything that our veterans do. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you present the trophy, please. And
we have a check for $500 to present to the Wounded Warriors Relief Fund. And we are in your deepest gratitude. We thank you ever so much every day.
Appreciate that.
It's been a great night of vintage and antique car racing here at Whiskey Lake Raceway tonight. Hopefully this footage has helped you remember some of the racing from the past or shows you the way that racing used to be. A big thank you to the Kansas Antique Race Association and the Missouri Old Time Vintage Racers. I'm Mike Kraft, and thank you for tuning in to A Night at the Track.